Morning everyone, it's Yvonne here to do What's Cracking reading. Thank you so much for all your beautiful comments. I was overcome with gratitude on the weekend and did post something. I was just so full of love for everything, and it's such a beautiful place to be. Um, it took me a long time to get to that place of peacefulness and being able to really open up and talk about how I felt. So now I don't hesitate. Um, a few things on the board. So this week I'm going to try and do a live possibly on Thursday. I can't promise because I know things seem to come out of nowhere when they come out. So I'm going to try and do a live for you, and I may do card readings. Haven't done them for a long time, so usually I do them for a small donation. So let's see how we go. But that is my intention for Thursday. I also want to say a huge thank you to those who've taken up a membership. Um, it's so beautiful to see you on board. I'm really happy. I know I've done a couple of videos already on cards. I want to try and get through this particular sort of section first, but I think you need to really get to know the tarot before you can really understand reading. I think you can read without tarot, don't get me wrong, but I think it's really good for you to understand all the meanings of the cards. So we'll get through those as quickly as possible so that we can get into the more intensive stuff. I'm running them exactly as I do my class. So I'd run a class for several hours. We would start off learning the tarot. We would move into, using the meanings, putting the cards together, and then reading for each other. And by the time people had left the class, they were able to do a reading. So that's my intention, to do that over a period of time. I do have some giveaways along the way. So I have some markers in my head. So once we reach certain points, I have t-shirts to give away. I also have tarot decks that I've not gelled with, and I've done that many times before. So if you're a member, those are the things you have to look forward to. For those of you who are on board with membership too, we will start going live probably after this week. I have a uni assignment due this week too, so there's a little bit of pressure on. And then, oh golly, and then I'm going away on the weekend. So I've got a lot of push this week, but I will do my best to get on board. Please watch out for scammers. They're rampant on my pages. I'm constantly reading through, deleting. I tried to get rid of them before they catch you, but please be aware. There are people that just tell you to come to their page for free reading. There are people promising you spells and all sorts of things. Don't get caught. Like I always say, I do not solicit you for readings. That means I do not chase you. If you want a reading with me, you email me at the Aussie Goddess, all one word. No numbers, no abbreviations, no silly letters. So make sure you're reading it correctly. The Aussie Goddess at gmail.com. At the moment, I'm about 3 to 4 days behind on readings, no more than that. So let me know. We will do the Capricorn reading later today. I do have the Dragon Tarot in my hand to do the reading with today. I think that's everything. All right, let's get into the reading. Okay, so we're starting off with it's the Hanging Dragon in this card, in this deck. I think this will probably be one of the ones I will give away. I bought a Dragon Tarot because I'd seen it somewhere, but when I got this one, it wasn't what I'd seen. It's still a really nice deck to use. It's really, some decks just feel really nice in your hands. But I just don't gel with all decks, and I have hundreds of them. So it's probably one that I will give away. So we have the Hanged Man basically coming through. Behind that we have the King of Swords. Now, when I was shuffling the cards, there were a few cards that came out that sort of said you're either at a bit of a crossroads or at a decision-making time. And I feel like there's a lot depending on the decisions you make here. You can never make the wrong decisions. As many of you know, when you've been watching me for a while, I don't believe in luck or coincidence. I know that everything is destined. I feel here that there is something you are contemplating here. It could be in regards to a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, because it is the King of Swords, but it's not quite that way. Now, the way I'm feeling it is either you're deliberating about taking someone to court or suing someone. You may be in a work situation where you're thinking you need to take something further, but it does feel to me like you're ready to jump on something and making a decision here. Yeah, we have the Wheel of Fortune coming out behind that with the King of Cups and the Sun card. All right. So we'll probably get a little bit more information or a little bit more energy around what this decision is. For me, it makes me feel like either you're making a decision that's with that King of Swords that's really like a final, some sort of finality to it. So it might be, for example, that you're choosing to move overseas. So there's sort of that finality, like once I've made that decision, I need to go. It could be that it's a legal decision or something at work where you feel you need to stand up and do something about something. If this is in regard to a relationship, it could be a father figure or somebody in your life that you see as a father or husband figure, absolutely. But if it is in regard to a sign, I would say here it's more than likely an air sign, although water's come up as well. So maybe you are thinking of leaving an air sign to move towards a water sign or vice versa, or maybe just looking at divorcing someone to move towards somebody else. So let's see where we're going. That's the energy I'm getting is sort of around those things. So we have the Fool card coming through. So the Fool card is a card that talks about having a brand new beginning. It's something we're taking a leap of faith at. And in the tarot, the major arcana runs on a cycle. So this is where it starts and finishes with the Fool. So there seems to be some sort of new beginning being offered here, but we always talk about a leap of faith. So it's not a beginning like an ace where you can move into something really quite easily. The Fool card sort of tells you that you've got to jump at something. So it may be that something is happening that you need to make a decision on very quickly and jump towards it. All right, so we have the High Priestess coming through here. Oh, with the Star card, I'm getting a lot of major arcanas here. With the Three of Pentacles. Okay, when I see that Three of Pentacles, I think whatever it is, you're moving towards something that you have desired or that you have wanted in your future. So say, for example, you wanted to buy a house in this town over here and you've never had the opportunity because you've never found the house you like or whatever else, and then all of a sudden there it is. That's what it feels like. It could be if it's a relation, especially with the Star, because the Star and the Three of Coins really makes me feel like it's something you're destined to move towards. But the High Priestess does tell me that you are trusting your intuition. You are taking this leap of faith with some sort of knowledge here. Now, generally, the Fool for me sort of talks about sort of just jumping at something. You know, something happens and you just go, yep, I want that, I'm going for it. But because I've got the High Priestess right next to it, it makes me feel like you are trying to feel out the way to go rather than just to do something blind. All right, so I have the Ten of Swords, which is what I saw before coming out. So I do feel there's some sort of ending here with the Tower. All right, and the Eight of Cups. You are definitely leaving something behind here. Now, sometimes when people talk about the Tower, they freak out. I'm like, the Tower for me is a fabulous card. None of the cards to me in the tarot deck are negative. And I know that we see that in movies, you know, the Death card, the Devil card. And cards tend to sort of put people, you know, make people uneasy. And sometimes it's cards I really don't quite understand. Like sometimes people will comment and I think, I don't know why you're getting that feeling off that card, but if it's what it means to you, then take it. The Tower is right smack bang in the middle of this reading, and I really take note of the card right in the middle and the card right at the end because I feel like they have a major significance, and I very often get major arcanas in that row. The Tower is right in the middle and it's flanked by the Eight of Cups, which means there's something that you are definitely moving away from here, that you're putting an end to with that Ten of Swords. But you see the top cards are really sort of positive. So it's almost like you're having to let go of something to move to the next stage. And even though what you're letting go of at this point in time may be a little difficult with that Ten of Swords, it could be just the way you see or think about things. Now, it's really funny because I was having a little talk to someone this morning about being too focused on the future. The future is yet to unfold. We can't control it. We don't know where it's going. We have no idea, even if we think we do. But that idea of control, and some people are so embedded in their control of things, they are just ridiculously anal about things. And you can't be that way because you do not know what's going to happen. I mean, you can make the best of arrangements for tomorrow and bang ho, something just falls in your lap. So you can't control the future. It's yet to be. You can't control the past. It's already gone. So the only moment we have is the moment that we're currently in. And that's where we're meant to be living. But some people crave so much in their future that they forget to live now, which creates a lot of anxiety for some people. So it's really important that you learn that only this moment exists, or this moment, or this moment. Everything else is gone or hasn't been made yet. So you can make arrangements to go on holidays next week, and the airline could have a problem and close down. You can make arrangements to go after a particular job, and nothing will be there for you. So if you're not worrying about it and you're just living your day-to-day life, you experience more in the moment, which is where you are meant to be, and that's where you manifest. So here for me, there is something about this energy here that makes me feel that the moment you let go, things are going to unwind the way you want them to. It's almost like once I let go of the fear, the negativity, the anticipation, the imagination, all of a sudden everything falls into place. And you may see this for yourself. I learned a long time ago, if you get out of bed in the morning and you kick your foot and then you're angry because you kicked your foot, everything seems to roll on from that. And I learned really, really a long time ago that if something like that happens, I need to stop for a moment, go back to bed for a minute, wait another 5 minutes before I get out of bed, or just find something really good that makes me feel good about it. Because the moment I start feeling cranky or angry because I've hurt my foot, I seem to find things snowball towards me. And I hear people say it all the time. Oh, well, I expected that because of that. Well, of course you're expecting that. That's what you do. So once you see something negatively, everything becomes negative around you. So if you're in that sort of energy, stop for a moment. Just give yourself a little bit of love. You kicked your foot, so what? Let it go, move on. So there's a real feeling here that some sort of negativity that you've got yourself surrounded with, some sort of energy that you've created around yourself is just an illusion. It's not real. And it's about letting go of that. So it could be some way of thinking, some way of seeing things. Maybe you want a new beginning, but it's really frightening you, moving away from what you know. Maybe this is taking a leap into a new relationship, and maybe you've had bad experiences in the past. If you've done the work, you will manage it so much better this time around. But you're walking away from, look, and there's the 7 of Cups. You're walking away from something, the Emperor. Okay, and the 8 of Pentacles coming through there as well. It could be for some of you a job with that 8 of Pentacles there, absolutely. But I feel like really when I see the 8 of Pentacles, I'm going to pull another card from the deck, and I've got the Page of Coins, Page of Pentacles, and the Strength card. This says to me that the work has been done. All right, so whoever I'm speaking to here, you may have done a lot of work around a particular aspect of yourself, but then you are being tested. So, for example, you've had a fear of, maybe your relationships haven't gone so well in the past. Maybe you've had a fear of rejection, abandonment. I talk about this often. And then you meet someone and you really start falling for them. But then your fears kick in. And then you start to think, but what if they do this to me? What, right, all future focused. What if this happens down the road? What if they leave me behind? What if they hurt me again? So if you've done the work, you might still think of those things, but you won't be as fearful as you were before. So you'll have that attitude like, you know what, I can't control it. Somebody does the wrong thing by me. I have no control over someone else's behaviors. So therefore, I know that if it happened to me this time, I got through the last time, I'm the survivor here, I won't have a problem in doing that again. But there's a real element here of learning to trust something. So if this is a relationship here, then you are going to trust the person, but more so you're going to trust yourself here, that you have the ability to roll with the punches. Because you have the Strength card here with the Eight of Pentacles, which says to me, you have put time and invested time and energy into yourself to understand perhaps some of your limitations and to understand how to move forward. The Eight of Cups here tells me there's something you need to leave behind. That Ten of Swords may be something quite negative, a way of thinking, but it might not be. It might be that you're leaving a person behind, or you're leaving some sort of energy behind that really isn't serving you anymore. You know, sometimes it's just where we live. You know, we decide that where we live is just no longer, we're not growing where we are. We may have lived there a long time. And we start to realize that, you know, maybe I just want to cast off. Now, I say to people often, if you are not casting off as you need to, then everything seems to happen at once, and you're put in that position where you need to cast everything off and restart. So to me, it's that sort of energy here. If this is a relationship, I feel like you know that you've done the work here. You absolutely know you've done the work, and you aren't scared of going into something knowing that your fears will be allayed. Like, you can understand how to work with something this time, you know. And the really funny part is, when we put our fears on the back burner, things don't happen. I can give you a really good example for this. You've been bullied at work, and you go into work and this person bullies you all the time, pushes you around, shoves you around, you know, really sort of takes advantage of you. And the day you wake up and you go, right, no more, I've had enough now, I'm going to speak up and I'm going to tell that person how I'm feeling and that they can't treat me that way. And I can guarantee you that energy, when you walk into the workplace, that person won't bully you, because your energy is different. And once your energy's different, they don't really know how to work with that. So they won't bully you. I don't know how many times that happened to me until I understood that it was my energy that needed to change, not them. I can't control the way they are, but I can certainly work with my own energies. And I'd go in ready to speak up. I'd be like this, you dare speak to me, I'm going to say something today, and they'd be as nice as pie. And I'd be like, what happened? What changed? Me. That was all that changed. All right, so we have the Hanged Man. So a decision needs to be made in regards to a King of Swords, or it could be that you are making that determination. The Wheel of Fortune is here. I feel like the time is right. You've got the King of Cups coming through with the Sun. So I feel like if this is a relationship, you'll take a chance on it, and you won't worry this time around. If it's something that you're not sure about, something you don't trust, you'll be quite happy to just roll with the punches. If something happens, we'll address it. Oh, I heard that banging. You remember, I put the washing machine on before I started. All right, let's read you a quick oracle card. We're big reading today. Okay. Oh, there's one. The Dream Walker. Dreams, the collective good, and illusions. Let's see what that says. Number 8. When the Dream Walker is your ally, dreams really can and do come true. So there's some sort of dream being presented to you here. But I feel like you've got to let go of something to uptake the dream. Those of the small self, and this talks about you playing a unique sort of part in the world. It's not just about what's being presented to you. It may be about a lot of other things. I think sometimes when we're working on ourselves, we forget that we're often helping our children and our friends and the people around us heal as well. Because when they see what happens with us, we can be quite a good role model or good influence on them. So I says the Dream Walker is beside you to help you move effortlessly through this. So you've got a lot of spirit support on this particular thing. And I think because it looks like some sort of destined event, you've got a lot of support on your journey. All right, I will leave you with that. Take care.